Football is back, ladies and gentlemen, which now means it's time to get your team's football shirt. But I'm not trying to pay £120 for a football shirt. I'm just saying. But I have found the solution for myself and for you, the lovely audience of the Don Husam channel, with your own coupon promo code. And this is the solution, ladies and gentlemen. All you've got to do is just go to okjersey.com. As you guys can see, all the options are there. Of course, I'm a Liverpool fan, you guys already know. And then this is the shirt. Look how amazing it looks. I'm just going to go pick my size. And then after that, I'm going to choose the Premier League patch. And listen, I'm too old to be putting any player names on the back. So I'm just going to get it as it is. I'm going to click add to cart, view cart. And this is the same thing that you guys do on any website. You proceed to check out, you fill in all your information. And then after that, coupon code Husam. When you click this coupon code, you get a 8% discount. Enjoy shopping, guys. Enjoy shopping, guys. Enjoy shopping. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another stream. Ladies and gentlemen, A-Listers episode 111 is in the building. We are live. Flawless will be joining us in a bit. I've got no idea where Jay is. I'm messaging him right now as we speak. Big up to all of you guys. Please slap the like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you're ready to do so. Every single one of you guys, please hit the like button. Please subscribe. We're here. We won't be starting with Liverpool because the rest of the panel ain't here. And because Vater has to go in 45 minutes. So he thinks he's going to duck because he's going to be a smart ass. Vater, City lose this week. Talk to me, brother.
City lose to Newcastle.
Wait.
Yeah?
You gotta run the intro. You gotta run the intro.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is
Vader Games.
Okay, one more time, you know. We have to run it back for the...
Right, we got to run it back because the lady said run it back, so we got to run it back.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is
Vader Games.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yes.
Let's go. Let's go. Now,
Let's go, Jordies. Anyway, go on.
Newcastle. I gotta drink water like Pep. This game result was disappointing. It was disappointing. I was happy with the starting 11. I was actually very happy with the first half. I was impressed with how we were playing. I really think we've got something cooking here. We haven't completely refined it, but we got something working out with Pep when he has Doku, Shirky, Foden, and Holland. I really like that attacking four and the fluidity that we see between the two. But we weren't clinical. We weren't clinical against a Newcastle that have made games difficult for all of you guys on this panel. For those that have played Newcastle so far, they've been difficult games. You've won some late. You've had some difficult performances against them. We left it late. And we weren't clinical. I would have expected Holland to score that little lob. I would have actually expected him to maybe take a touch and actually put it in the net. I also would expect my man Foden, who gets compared to a lot of frauds out there, but I would have expected my man Foden to put that shot on target. These are things that cost us. It cost us at the end. And it also cost us because that first half was night and day to the second half. We were sleepwalking in that second half. I talked about this on my match reaction on my show. I said that second half, we did not match the intensity that was needed against a Newcastle that were playing. They were playing tough. And I, unlike some of the other fans that happen to be on this panel and the large part of their fan bases, y'all who watched the game and not just highlights, you saw how the officiating has been consistent with their inconsistencies. I'm not going to blame these refs. There's a lot of things that went wrong. I'm going to say
You're doing the same thing that Hamza does. I'm not going to blame the refs, but here's 1, 2, and 3 that they got wrong. Don't try to be a smart
No. I know Hamza and I have the same complexion, but I'm not doing the Hamza thing. What I'm pointing out is there was missed calls by the ref.
You want to cancel me? Is that
was a hey, I just want to say, Vaya, that was a beautiful play of the race card. I salute you, man.
What's the reason for me to be compared to Hamza? Why are you bringing up Hamza? Is it because we're both City fans?
Because he's a fraudulent City fan.
We're both fraudulent City fans. Okay. Well, you love us on our shows for a reason. All right. You're in the group chat saying, Vader, I need you on the show for a reason. Hamza, I need you on the show for a reason. So relax. I'm not doing the Hamza thing. I'm my own man. What I'm pointing out is the same way everyone has their PGMO reasons. You're sending in letters. City aren't going to do that. My manager in the press conference said, not talking about the refs. Y'all saw what that game was. Y'all saw the calls and non-calls. I'm moving on beyond that. What I'm pointing out is we should have won despite that. We should have at least tied that game. So when I'm demanding, and I'm not giving any excuses, I'm not making any scapegoats. I'm saying that my players needed to be better. I'm saying that my players need to match. We've all played. When you're not getting the calls from the ref, you play through it. You don't give them a reason to get this game go against you. So we weren't clinical enough. And in the second half, when Pep brought on some of those changes, and I know my Manchester City fan base were like, why are you bringing on Savinho? Why are you bringing on Oscar Bob? What are they going to do? If you don't bring these players on to actually challenge them to make a difference in the game, what are we going to do when we get to week 25, week 30? We can't keep playing the same 11 or same 12 players. We need to have some rotation. We need to actually give these players a chance to make it work. Now, I'm going to take this loss as difficult as it was, and I gotta accept it and move on. Four losses by game week 12. Many want to give up on it. Many want to say this is over. Well, I don't give up until it's mathematically impossible. All right? I don't do that. And who gives up? Who says the league is won in November? If someone says a league is won in November, you're showing me someone that hasn't won the league in a really long time. If someone's saying that they've won the league in November, you're showing me someone that hasn't won the league in a really long time, because that's not how leagues are won. So I gotta hope. I gotta look at how my players perform. I really need, and many want to make the excuse. Many want to say, hey, we got to win despite that. I need. Why is that I'm not AI. What do you need me to do? What do you need me to do to prove that I'm not AI? Send me your address. We'll talk. We'll meet in person.
Oh, okay. Vader, beeping the chat and
most
shit.
likely in Toronto. We'll link up.
Man's
That's Canadian dollars.
The Yaddy and shit. Okay.
That's Canadian dollars. We'll link up. I'm near Young and Egg. Now, the whole thing that I want to point out is I want my players to actually realize what is needed to stay in close, grabbing distance of this title race. We know that points are going to get dropped. We know that there's actually a game in this upcoming weekend, and I know you guys will probably talk about it, or you'll talk about it on later shows, but the fact that 2 and 1, with regards to the league standings, are playing each other, this league isn't over. There's going to be a lot of movement. Now, I need to see better. I need my Ballon d'Or coming back. I need that player in the mix. Even if it's just giving me 30
Can you give me
minutes.
a bit of analysis though? Like what happened wrong? Instead of because you've responded to all the narratives and you've left out the football.
No.
What
I told you.
went on the football pitch. Why did you lose? So let me summarize, Vader, guys. I won't use refereeing as an excuse, but we should have had an offside goal and we should have had a penalty. I'm not using it as an excuse, but we should have had it. And also, the title race is not over. Great. Why did you lose to Newcastle, buddy? Why?
That's the question that he was asked. I don't understand this whole whoever talked about the title.
No, he's giving a whole speech, Dio, about
nobody's asked about the
nothing
title
related
won in November. We
football
asked
game.
you a simple question about why your team.
Did anyone in the chat
Messed
like?
up
Did
at
you
the
hear
weekend,
anything?
people.
Vader's
I just want to say, Vader, your ability to disguise shots is beautiful, man. That's what I was.
Don't worry, Vader. I understood you, mate.
I know.
That's
See,
a
look,
compliment.
I disguised
That's a
shots. I didn't take
compliment.
any shots.
I knew who the shots were.
Yeah, you
I
did.
just
You
ignored it.
disguised the shot at Dio.
I just ignored it.
Yo,
how did I-
disguised the shot at me for
You're
complaining
disguising
like
it.
referees?
It said
100
everybody,
different
man.
shots there.
Hey,
No, wait,
Vader, you're like-
Dale,
you're
have you
like
said
one
that
of
the
best
league
teams ever.
title's done yet?
I said next weekend when I buy my stamps at Stamford Bridge, package up that Premier League, put the
With the
stamp
what
on it,
scoreline?
and ship it to North London 2-0, a clean sheet against Chelsea next weekend. You haven't beat me. You haven't beat me in 5 years. Oh my
Yeah,
God!
that's cool. That's cool.
So I'm
You
not-
haven't
I'm
won a
not sure with
trophy
you.
in those 5 years.
No, I don't care. I'm not talking about trophy. I'm talking about the game that will happen between me and you. Trophy that
I know we can talk about the past and
Let's talk
everything,
about
but we're
the
just
game
gonna
itself.
step
Just-
into
just the
present on
game.
Sunday.
Let's just talk about the game in itself, in its entity, not what you're going to do in after 38 games. I'm talking about that one
No,
game.
but you mentioned the last 5 years, so I had to mention what we've done in the last
Oh, no,
5
no,
years.
I said that's why I'm talking about me and you head-to-head record. You haven't beat me.
No,
in 5
I
years.
know. It's like
That's
if
what-
you
that's what I'm talking
talk
about.
the past,
I'm not
then
talking
it
about-
blows
I'm not
everything
talking-
out.
I'm
Now we
not
can talk
talking
about
about-
anything to do.
I'm
with
not
the
talking
past.
about trophies that you have won.
can
or
talk about
finals
all
you've gotten
sorts of
to.
content.
I'm
Like,
talking
let's
about
get
head-to-head
crazy.
record, and so I'm not scared of you at Stamford Bridge. Simple. Don't worry
No,
about.
I know, but I'm saying like that can't like just mean that anything to do with the title race because like your head-to-head record's been great, but you've also won nothing in that.
But
And that's my point in bringing up the trophies. You can have a great
again,
head-to-head record, you can win battles, but can you win wars?
Lewis, the question
That's a good
again, The question
Hey, Vader,
again
beautiful,
was
man.
the game next weekend. The game next weekend is about Arsenal and Chelsea. Whoever is going to win. I'm saying I'm going to beat you 2-0 and have a clean sheet against you because you haven't beat me in 5 years, head to head. You're talking about what I have won and what you have won. That's not the conversation. Stay in the
Because
pocket.
you're talking about the
The
past, and
pocket
the
of
past is irrelevant when we're facing
you're
each other.
deflecting from. I'm saying
You're
the reason
deflecting from the
I
game
said
in
the
hand
reason-
to talk
the
about our
reason
head-to-head
I'm confident-
record.
The reason I'm confident that I'm going to beat you is because
Dayo,
I
you're
haven't
falling
lost
for
against you.
Vader's
Yeah,
games.
so,
Don't
carry on.
fall for the deflection. Speak about City,
Don't
Dayo, because let's actually get
Oh
some
no, City.
Can
I
I
have
speak
a lot
about
to say
City?
about City. I
on
have a
the
lot to say
bloody
about City, but I
football
don't think
game.
that's a
Dayo,
football.
talk to me about
Can I
City
speak
Newcastle.
about City in the game?
Oh,
fact that I'm
so
Can-
now 10
Oh, now
minutes
you're ready to
in,
speak about the game.
after
The
a
fact that
whole
I'm Canadian
war
and I'm
speech
polite and I
unnecessarily,
step back when Dio wants to go and start taking shots at Lewis and I'm just relaxing
Yeah.
and waiting
Take
is
it
not
back
is
to
not
your humble world
that's all
champion.
that I
What is
did.
this?
I was speaking and I got interrupted.
One
That's
second,
it.
Vader. So, guys, there's going to be a Liverpool section. I'm going to cook rightfully, so I'm going to get cooked rightfully, so no problem. Imagine my the beginning of my speeches. I'm not like these guys. I don't do this and I don't do that. I could have complained about the referee for the first goal, but I'm not going to do so. That's Vader's speech. Talk about why you lost. You want us to hold our players accountable. You come here every week. Talk about Verts. Talk about Isak. Talk about Bruno. Talk about the manager. Talk about the cafeteria lady. Talk about the owner. Why don't you do the same? This is your topic. This is your club. Tell me, Foden missed chances he should have scored.
you there,
Tell
Vader.
me, Haaland missed
I
a
said
one-on-one. He's the best striker in the
I
world.
said that.
But
I
he
said
gets
that.
a bit of leeway. Give us some analysis, yeah.
I said those two things, but you're on your
Well,
phone
why
trying
did
to link up
Marmoush
with your
come on
chick.
so
I don't know
late?
what you're doing over there. What
Say
I
that
was
again,
saying from
Lewis.
the
Say that again, Lewis. Wait, your blue brother said something. Say it again, Lewis.
Why did Marmoush come on so late? That surprised me.
See?
Well, before I
great
get to late in the
football
game, I was talking about the first half and I was going into the second half before I got interrupted. And Husam, I don't know who you're trying to link up with the late call, but relax. Let's pay attention to the show because
I'm
I
paying
did mention.
attention, and there's no
Okay,
link
so
to call
you
it
brought up,
time
why don't
either.
you talk about Haaland's miss? I mentioned Haaland's miss. Why don't you talk about Foden's miss? I mentioned Foden miss. But you're trying to bring it up like I didn't say all this, like I didn't talk about the game. I'm talking about the game and I'm also talking about observations that I have. Now, we weren't clinical. That's the biggest thing with regards to this game. That first half, had we been clinical, it's a wrap. Because what what Newcastle were set up to do, what Eddie Howe was looking to do was completely to script. He's going to defend. He's going to look to get the counter. They ended up getting some chances and they made the most of it. Had we been clinical, it's a different story, right? So early in that game, we were getting those chances because how they set up, how Newcastle set up defensively, we were cutting through them. Doku playing centrally is a difference maker, and I need to see some balance there because he's slipping in those passes for Haaland to run onto or for
Yeah,
Foden
he was
to
one of
run
your
onto.
better players.
Yeah, it's and again, we look at the evolution of a player. So before, isolated on that wing, many of you wanted to write him off. We see what he does when he comes central. And now we got to see the balance. We got to see O'Reilly maybe take the width. Maybe we see Ait Nori when he returns, and maybe we get the width there with him coming central. But I felt like the first half, we let the game get away from us because we weren't clinical. Now in the second half, and I was talking about the subs, when I mentioned my own fan base want to take shots at Savinho, which I don't think you listened to, Husam or Dial, when you guys were saying talk about the game. But I mentioned Savinho. I mentioned Oscar Bob. The fact that they came into this game and many fans want to say why. Well, Pep can't just rely on the starting 11 or maybe 12 players. We've got to get other players to contribute. And if everybody want to crash it, well, where's the goals coming from? So I believe their subs isn't for the goal. It's to create opportunities to get past their man and again, feed the big man. We've never seen anyone score better than him, and I get it why it makes sense to create opportunities for him. Now, my man Lewis, my brother asking me why wasn't Marmoush subbed on earlier. Here's a challenge. And unfortunately, Doku in the form that he's in and Marmoush, they occupy the same area of that pitch. I don't know how Pep's going to work this out. My man's a genius. He's an evil genius sometimes. Mad scientist. I don't know what he's going to do to actually get the two of them on that pitch, which would be great. From an attacking standpoint, you got really great options. Marmoush didn't have goal of the season for no reason. He's a goal scorer, right? So I was disappointed in the loss. I said,
Thank you, Vader. That's all I
"Oh
want.
no, don't say thank you because I was
Now
doing
I
this
respect
before.
Don't
I was
come
doing
here
this
and
before."
discuss all the media narrative. By the way, Dio will tell you this. If he's an honest man, I called Dio out himself when he did that in the past. He knows this. when he
did
did
what
the
in the-
whole, we didn't score a set piece, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, guys, let's talk about the football. And to be honest, Vader,
Oh my God.
I'm actually, because unlike you get me, I do not do agenda-based analysis.
Oh, shut your lips.
No,
You
no.
don't do
No,
agenda-based
no, one
analysis.
second, one second,
Yes,
one
This
I'm
is
out.
great,
One
yo.
second.
Shut your lips.
1 second. Let me just say one
Take-
thing, yeah? Some people do results-based analysis. Some people do performance-based analysis. And then there's the worst type, the Vader types, who do agenda-based analysis. Me, I don't have agenda. I am objective football conversation. That's what I do. Objectively, I don't think this game is a measuring stick to Manchester City being bad. I think St. James's Park is a difficult stadium for a lot of clubs to go to. Lewis has had a horrendous time over there. So has Dio. When we
I said all
win
that.
there, it's usually dramatic. It's a very difficult place to go. Foden should have scored. I agree. City should have had a penalty. 100% sharp
Oh,
kick. Foden on the post.
You're just
It should be a
remixing what I
penalty.
said earlier, but go
But the
ahead.
performance overall, I don't think City were bad. City had very good moments in the game. They had moments here and there. The problem for City is not them having moments and not scoring. The problem is Newcastle had a lot of moments. The Harvey Barnes, before he scored, he missed like 4 or 5 chances as well. Like, he missed chances. They created stuff. So for me, look, City right now don't have that killer thing that they had 3 years ago. But I agree with Vader. If Arsenal can't win it, then it's just, yeah. I don't know, man. It's just that at this moment in time, we are ass, Liverpool, that is, so we're completely out of it. City, I think, don't have that killer thing in them, but they're probably the closest to challenging Arsenal. Chelsea, it's their first time here, and you can tell by Lewis's behavior. Arsenal, this is probably the year that they have to like capitalize on some
fuck?
frauds. So, yeah.
What
big
have I
up,
said
guys.
that's just
You know,
mad behavior?
you know the funny thing, Husam. Here's what I was saying the other time when we had the stream. When we're talking about Man City, and I said
I went
that.
from
Vader
my
guy.
feet up
Hey,
to sort
Vader,
out fraud.
You are one of the goats, man. That's what I say.
Hold on,
man.
Husam. Remember when I said? Remember
I
when I
agree
said
with you,
that?
unfortunately.
Yes,
Anytime Haaland doesn't score, City
Goat
doesn't
of
win a
gas.
game. You know this, right? The last 3 games that Haaland hasn't scored, and City has lost that game, which is why I said that wasn't sustainable. 2-3 weeks ago when we had the stream, I said it wasn't sustainable, and everybody said you must be mad. It is not sustainable to depend on only one guy. Yes, he's a goal machine. I agree. He's probably the best goal scorer that we have ever seen. Nobody can take that away from him. But there's no guarantee that he's going to score in all 38 games. And if your record right now says that the 3 games you've lost, he hasn't scored, it simply means that if you can mark your big man out, or if he's having a bad day, City is going to have a rough time. I'm not saying there are no other players on your team that can score, but the gap is way too much, is what I'm saying. Like, there's just way too much gap where it's like, if Haaland is not performing, it's Foden is not performing. So again, your striker, I agree, is expected to score. That's what you bring him in for. But there are days when, he can be marked out. There are days when if he has a stomach bug and comes in on that day and it's a bad day for him, it happens. Depending on that one guy, I think is just, I don't know. I wouldn't do it. I'm just saying, and I'm not taking anything away from Haaland. I'm not saying Haaland is a bad player. No, Haaland is an amazing player. He will break into any team in the world today. He's an amazing guy. But my point is, the day Haaland does have a problem, it seems like City loses those games. In games where like he misses like close range shots like that, games where he misses the one-on-ones, even again, because Haaland is someone that, yes, we know on a good day can score from anywhere. But then what happens on the days he doesn't score? Because right now in 25-26 season, the 3 games you've lost, or 3 or 4 games, Haaland hasn't scored in it. So it seems like nobody else is stepping up. And that's dangerous. That's all I'm saying. So yeah.
Okay. Anyone want to say something about Man City, or is it just all the other clubs you guys have chest for when you want to speak up all of a sudden?
Yeah. Vader ain't got long left, so I think we should get to Liverpool section.
Now, before we do that, in regards to it, what we saying is this like Newcastle is a tough away day? Of course it is, but City should win that. That's one of them games you have to win because of the chances that they created. If they would have went there and performed poorly, I'd hear it. But City went poor. Granted, the second half they kind of fell off. But Vader is still with you, just staying touching distance of Arsenal, correct?
Yeah, of course.
6 points, you saying? 6 points?
7 points right now.
7 points.
No, I'm asking you, Vader, like how many points is too much? Because you're saying stay within touching
how many?
distance.
8-9 points is too much, I think.
Okay, cool. So you're saying like 6 to 7. All right, fair.
Okay, so when I say it's over, Vader, I'm glad. Do you admit it's over for Liverpool now, Vader? 8 points?
For Liverpool?
Yeah, it's done.
For mentality monsters,
But by your logic, Vader,
No,
it should
they
be
ain't
done.
mentality monsters.
You see,
no,
chat?
By your logic,
You
it should
see,
be
chat?
done.
There you
If you say that
There
8-9
you are.
points for City is no
Our
longer
mentality
touching
monsters.
point,
You know,
then that means
Vader,
for
me and you,
Liverpool
we
is no
both
longer
watch
touching point as well
NBA.
right now.
We are a 500
just-
team right now. We are the team that's 41 wins, 41 losses. We are 6 losses, 6 wins. You realize how embarrassing
Yeah.
that shit is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember.
mentality
let me-
midgets, bro.
Let me tell you how miserable I am, yeah? Actually, we'll get there when we get to Liverpool.
We'll get there
section.
later, but
Yeah, we gonna
okay,
get there.
your
Well, that's fine, we can
title.
move on to Liverpool. It's okay. You
No,
you
but-
responded to all the online narratives. You responded to everything the media said. You responded to everything Terry Fleur said and everything Husam said and everything Dio said. You didn't. Thank you for your 30 seconds of football analysis. Big up to T Wiz who says, Vater, what are the dugongs smelling now? They're smelling Chelsea ass because they're behind them too. Shout out Paz for that insult. Big up to T says, big up Dio, my Niger brother. They move. Hey, come
Yes,
on, you
sir.
Guna.
Yes, sir.
Niger know they carry last, but
they
they won't
carry
carry
last.
themselves to AFCON though.
Free matter, we know they carry last, my guy. Nothing do us, no shakings.
Will you be at AFCON?
What am I? You want me to fly 12 hours to go and watch Nigeria not playing the AFCON? You want to cause problem? I should waste
No,
my
no.
money.
I
AFCON
don't
that I
want-
will
I
not
don't
win.
want problems. I want peace.
AFCON
Oi,
that I
big
will
up
not
to
win.
Kopish for the raid quickly. Big up to my guys, Callum and Drifty. They just raided us. Big up.
Drifty man.
Guys, you know, I just want to say something. This is, you guys walked into the Liverpool section. I'm going to get cooked and rightfully so, but even the panelists would agree. We can't have 600 people here. We're not even at 100 likes. What are you doing? It is 2:35 a.m. I'm showing up to get cooked at 2:35 a.m.
You should stop the show until it goes upside until the
Oh,
lights
like
go
the
up.
video, you frauds. Close
the
the live
show.
chat. and
Come on,
everything.
guys. Sam's up later than a Gibbs White dagger at Anfield. Hit those likes.
Exactly. Come on, man. Big up to Ash LFC. He says, Mr. Objective Based Analysis once said he'd take more players from Wolves than Chelsea, by the way.
Oh, Pochettino's
Hey, man,
manager
you
of
don't
the
help
season
yourself,
for
man.
finishing for being 8th.
You don't help yourself.
You know,
man.
guys, I would like to just point out
Objective
something.
You know what I
At the
think?
time,
I think Slot deserves a statue for dragging those scrubs to a prem. You know?
guys, I just wanna say something.
Yo,
at
that
the
is
time,
abysmal,
Wolverhampton
yo.
Wanderers were doing really well in the league. They had the likes of Lemina, Joao Gomez. You get me? They had Andre, who I would take. They had Pedro Neto, who we thought is a very good winger.
He's still back in it. I see it, man. You going down?
At the time, it was not a crazy
Hey,
take.
Hassam, I don't
Because
judge,
all
man. I
the Chelsea
respect
players
it, yo.
were
You
out.
want to die on the
That's
hill
crazy.
again? I hear it.
Yeah, and all
I
your
really-
players are arse and you're below Everton. Fraud.
And he lost.
Anyway,
And he
guys,
lost.
we're gonna move on. Talk about Liverpool. You get me. Big up to all of you guys. Like I said, please like the video and subscribe. By the way, all the links are in the description. Please go subscribe to my brothers, man. You get me? Because we have to grow together as a football community. I'm on 66.2k, and I appreciate you guys' love and support always. I want you guys to go subscribe to all my brothers' channels, man. The Gunner Edge, Vater Games TV, Sarcasm City TV, and
check
Carefree
this out.
Lucy. You will actually see me in their comment sections a lot of the time, man. So please go give them all a subscribe and show them some love, as always. So Liverpool, who wanna start us off?
You.
Oh,
We
me.
want to hear from you.
Yeah,
Yes,
what-
this guy who tried to pass the ball. We want to hear from you, stupid guy. Floor's yours.
That's a lot of water.
Anyway, guys,
And
it's-
let's keep an analysis on the pitch as well. Let's talk about the 11 players on the pitch as well. As
You can do. Hey, we want to hear it all on the pitch and off the pitch analysis. We want.
Yeah, I'm not gonna police. I'm not gonna
whole
police
nine.
your breakdown. You say what you want to say, Husam.
Lead us to be
you
some
see what
someday
Elko was trying to do to me at the
young.
start of the stream? This is what I actually call racism. Where's Deji's link? He ain't even on the panel. Are you saying Jay is Deji? See, now I can
Yeah.
cancel you.
So hold on, Ash. You're saying all black men. You're saying all black men look alike. This is
Yeah, you're
just
saying all
that's
black
wrong.
people look alike.
You're
That's
saying all
just-
black people look alike. Like what,
Calling Jay
what is
Deji.
this?
That's crazy. That's crazy. Do
I
you
mean-
think Lewis is
I mean,
Ahmed
they-
as well?
If
Might as well
anything,
go
Jay is
there.
a better looking version. I mean, you can't be like Jay looks like that.
Frauds.
Wow.
Yeah, Jay is a
Fraud.
better looking human being than Deji.
Anyway, big up to Saeed who told me to speak, so I'm gonna speak. See, Ash, we can all do it.
Jay, your
Anyway,
mic
as
is
of-
very low.
Your mic's low, Jay.
your mic is low, Jay.
Hold on
Yeah.
one sec.
Just like your club, all time low. Anyway,
Well,
let me just speak on Liverpool. Let me just speak on Liverpool, guys. It's Monday and Liverpool suck. In the words of Mike Das, we absolutely suck right now. There's no if buts or maybes about it. You get me? Every single combination we put out there on the pitch, we look like shit. I was calm at 2-0 because I still had belief that we might come back. I'm sure you guys all know the saying, we're all football fans, 2-0 is the most dangerous scoreline in football. So I still had belief, even at 2-0, you never know. You score a goal, you can get a 2-2, you could salvage something, I don't know. But the 19th place team coming to Anfield and scoring 3 goals unanswered for me is unacceptable. That in itself, without any context, could be looked at as a sackable offense. That's why a lot of people did turn that moment. People act like, it was the whole Slotton thing was a gimmick. No, it wasn't. I believe that he could turn it around. And in the first must-win game, because these guys all work with me, they know I was saying we have a winnable run of fixtures. And the first game, literally the first game, we lose 3-0 to the 19th place team in the league. That for me is enough for anyone to turn. And I think there's a lot of agenda-driven conversations. I think Szoboszlai played well. That's the only Liverpool player that deserves credit the entirety of this whole season. If Player of the Season award was to be given out tomorrow, give it Szoboszlai. The rest of them don't deserve nothing. I don't think Salah necessarily was bad against Forest. I think that's a completely agenda-driven conversation. The guy was the only forward line player attempting something. I think this was Isak's worst game in a Liverpool shirt. The chance that Salah created for him and he sliced at it's just, you have to at least hit the target. You look at Cody Gakpo, one of the worst performances in Liverpool shirt. McAllister, I call him world class, but this is one of his horrendous performances in Liverpool shirt. Absolutely had no control whatsoever. Gravenberg couldn't pass to save his life. He makes Caicedo look like Pirlo. Van Dijk, we speak about standards and stuff like this. Virgil van Dijk, for me, if you want to talk standards, he was a vote away from beating Messi to Ballon d'Or. He keeps speaking about defensive issues. Habibi, you're the captain of the defensive ship. You're the captain of it. So you should be one of the people held responsible for how many goals we conceded, because Konate wasn't on the pitch when we conceded the third goal. Kirk has Robertson was on the pitch when we conceded the third goal. Kirk has just become a scapegoat for this fan base. You can tell he's very frustrated because he can't even do the overlapping thing he did at Bournemouth. And, no player deserves credit from that game. Now, onto the elephant in the room. A month ago, we had these conversations on this very panel. Big up to Flawless, because he was actually the only honest one on the chat and in the panel who didn't want to point out individuals, and he pointed out the biggest individual responsible, and that's Arne Slot. Guys, there's something in science called controlled experiment. If I want to check one simple element of an experiment, I keep that one element same and I change everything and I see, okay, how does it look? I change one element and I keep all the others constant. Everything else constant and I change one element. Okay, let's see the effect of that element.
So just
now
that's
that's
my bar, by the way. I hope everyone knows that that's a remix of my bar. Like that the whole.
I promise you, wallahi, I didn't steal that from you. I'm an engineer, so I just went to what I know. Anyway, but back to the topic. Anyway, so let's just address the elephant in the room here, yeah? Let's speak about all possible scenarios. Mamardashvili plays, we lose. Frimpong plays, we lose. Connor Bradley plays, we lose. Robertson plays, we lose. Kirkes plays, we lose. Gravenberg, McAllister, Salah dropped or starts. Isak dropped or starts. Ekitike dropped or starts. Gakpo dropped or starts. Every single different scenario that we have tried this season, we still lose. Whichever player we drop, whichever player we take out of the starting 11, whichever player can't play because of an injury, we still suck in every fucking scenario. There is no scenario where we do not suck. That's the reality of the conversation. Which is why
so this is all on the manager.
Rule of thumb: when 10 outfield players all look like shit, you've got to look at the man in charge. Whether it be mental preparation, whether it be motivational skills, whether it be tactics, he's at fault for every single one of these things.
Now, I hear this,
Okay.
but I also think there's a very big mentality issue that also needs to get brought to the surface. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, have you taken the lead in any of these games that you've lost?
It was 3-0, so they couldn't have taken the lead.
No, in any of the losses in general.
Back-to-back,
I don't think they
back-to-back,
took the lead against Palace. They didn't take the lead against us. They didn't take the lead against United. They didn't take the lead against Galatasaray.
Yeah, we didn't.
Like, this is my thing, because I think Liverpool were actually good in the first 30 minutes. I think they were the more imposing team. I don't think Forest did that much. You lot didn't really do as much in the final third. But if you're going to ask me who the better team was, Liverpool. Then you conceded the first goal against a run of play, and then it just all went to Forest. And then you go into halftime. Don't know what Slot says. Don't know whether it helps the team. Don't know whether it doesn't. Because 46 minutes in, fucking McAllister comes in with a shit challenge and it's 2-0. And then the heads drop again. And this is what I mentioned earlier. This isn't just like mentality monsters have turned into mentality midgets, where any sort of setback that this team has, they don't know how to get themselves out of it. It's like when they went to Ibiza, they literally went to Ibiza and they stayed there. Like, I like to go to some of the stats the way we've gone to some of the stats before. And like, Liverpool have created the most chances out of any side in the last 2 Premier League games and have failed to score. They still get the ball into the opposition box. They've got the 3rd highest in the league, and they've got the 2nd big chances missed.
Lewis,
not everything is going crazy.
You said this thing you're saying, Lewis, is why I
Carefree Lewis G quote. Where does the mentality come from? The manager.
Hold on, Husam.
I didn't get that. I'm sorry. We got to keep the same energy, my friends.
Listen,
slot out.
Lewis.
Your guy is a proven Premier League winner, and you pull away from him.
Dio, please wait, because when someone throws off an accusation, I have to respond. This guy's comparing Pochettino. So now, even Flawless, because he lived through the Back Again podcasts. This is what used to happen under Pochettino. Flawless, correct me if I'm wrong. So under Pochettino, Chelsea would go away to Wolves. In the first half, they should be 3-0 up. Sterling, Palmer, Jackson, all fuck up one-on-ones. And because
he thinks every game was the Wolves 2-1.
Please let me land, Lewis. I beg you, let me land. Just let me land.
I know, but you referenced the same one game.
Do whatever you want. Please, just let me land. Please let me land. Please let me land. Please let me land. So anyway, as I was saying, so you can understand my point, because it's not even a cuss at you. It's a difference of context. So they would miss like 3-4 one-on-ones. And then after that, Lewis would come and blame Pochettino because they were bad in the second half, or Poch didn't make a substitute, or whatever it is. Manchester City away, they dominate Manchester City. They should have scored 2 or 3 goals, but because Disasi was brought on a defensive sub, he feels like, okay, that's the reason why Manchester City were able to claw back into the games. And on top of all this, Poch didn't buy Isak, Verts, Ekitike, Frimpong, and Kirkes. He never had a summer that good. And the second thing is,
he had the best summer on the
You see everything I just mentioned under Pochettino. You see everything I just mentioned under Pochettino, like how bad it was. You were still. And
I had less expectations. You're asking to win the league. I'm asking to get.
I'm gonna say the final statement. You'll understand. As bad as it was under Pochettino, right? You still at least were better in halves. You were better in moments. You were better in 30-minute spurts. Liverpool Football Club weren't better than Forest at all. 90-minute ass. 90-minute ass against Manchester City.
You weren't better in the first 30 minutes.
In the first 15 minutes, we were good.
30 before the goal, I would say you were the better team.
First 15 minutes, we were good.
That goal was completely against the run of play.
You were bad in the second half, but in the first half,
once you conceded the goal,
I wouldn't say we were the better team in the first half.
You were the better team in the first half.
Before the goal. From when you conceded the first, your heads dropped again. Before that, you were the better team.
Okay, but I don't believe we were better than them in any half.
So it's the same 30-minute spurts that you're talking about.
Look, I agree that the box stops with the manager. I agree with you, Husam. I agree that Slot, at the end of the day, that's where the box stops. Fair enough. But when your players are missing in the first half alone, literally missing big chances, shots on target, like you had 12 shots in total, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah?
12 shots in the first half?
No, not in total. I said in total. That's in 90 minutes. You had 12
shots 9 in the first half.
Yeah, you had 12 in total. You had 8 in the first half and 4 in the second half, and you literally had 4 shots on target. You like, what else do you want a manager to do when he's put you in a position to have those type of opportunities and you're missing big chances? Like, again, this is why I'm saying yes, I will hold the manager responsible.
Name the big chances.
Listen, I will hold the manager.
You're gonna get the flawless treatment. Name the big chances.
It's one match, you know. It's literally one game after this.
The two big chances make your life easier. The Kirkes one and the Isak one second half. Yalla, name another one.
Okay, my point is you are in a position
to
the ball. If you don't
one big chance in the first half, one big chance in the second half. Wow.
Is it the manager's fault that you're missing those chances?
19th place, Nottingham Forest.
Is it the manager's fault? Is it the manager's fault that player missed that chance? He set up the team in such a way against
you are arguing
that chance was created.
Because no one said, okay, when I first was that chance created. What's the difference between me and Vater? I said Isak should have at least hit the target.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying
how is that me saying that
Husam, you're missing Husam. I agree with you when it comes
Get
to
him,
the
Dio.
manager side of things. What I'm saying is now,
Oh, now you would
I
dial,
want,
yeah?
I want to pivot onto your players.
Yeah, all of a sudden he likes.
I want
Dio.
I want to pivot onto your players because we can talk about how bad a manager's tactics are, but if your tactics are creating chances and the players are not putting the ball in the back of the net, the manager is not going to get on the pitch and kick the ball into the back of the net.
Habibi,
That
it's
is not a
about
mentality
quality
thing
of
at that
chance.
point.
It's not about quantity, it's about quality. Are we creating a chance? Salah is getting cooked by people who don't understand football. The first half, he created the chance for Kirkaz, had to dribble past 2 players and create that chance for Kirkaz. Second half, he created the chance for Isak based off individual brilliance. There are no attacking patterns. There are no triangles. There is no overlapping fullback. There is nothing we're doing that shows
Your players are just not
intelligence.
clinical enough. That's
We're
what
not
it was.
creating quality chances, meaning that when Eze could have scored the super hat-trick, remember the unbelievable save by Vicario? We are not making Cells make an unbelievable save. You get it? It's not like you can come here and go like, oh my God, did you see that save from Vicario? Eze should have scored 4. I don't have that experience. Matt Cells didn't make a single world-class save all game.
But what
And
I'm
that's
saying,
based on the quality of
Husam,
chance.
Husam, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying the quality of the, again, you guys had a 1.93 expected goal, right? As to 1.58 for Nottingham Forest. But guess what? Expected goals on target. Your expected goals on target from a 1.93 0.67. Do you realize how bad that is? But that's my point. Your players are not taking the chances. Meanwhile, they had a 1.58. And their expected goals
Don't lie. You told me this as well.
They literally doubled their expected goals on target. And they had lesser expected goals than you at the very beginning of the game. The point is, the chances were created for you. You had a larger expected goals because of how you played, but you did not take the chance. It's simple.
Also, Liverpool have the 6th highest expected goals in the Premier this season.
That is on the players, because that means that the manager's tactics is creating opportunities and chances for you to be able to score a goal, and you're not scoring it.
I know, and you told me the stats don't lie, so the stats don't lie.
Second highest.
I'm sorry. I've
already cooked it because it's completely different.
I don't know. I think you dug yourself a hole because you didn't admit that you were good in the first 30 minutes.
Did you find players of Isak, Wirtz, and Ekitike's caliber?
You tried to say 30-minute spurts are the same, but then you said you didn't have a 30-minute spurt against Forest when you did.
Okay, in your
opinion,
opinion,
better before the goal was conceded.
I don't think we did.
Well, I think that's crazy. I think you were completely the dominant team before the first.
You yourself said against Man City away, you were good up until the sub. Under Poch.
Yes, and I credit him for everything before the sub.
Okay, great. So you're good.
Then I was told the stats don't lie.
Great.
So I'm just bringing the stats up to the conversation again.
You're good for 78 minutes. We haven't been good for 78 minutes a single game this season.
And that's one game that you brought up, just like when you referenced the other Wolves game where we were good for one half. And even that was just with lower expectations. That's why I'm saying with Slot doing this as well now, like, I don't get it. You guys have to look at the players as well as the manager, not just slot. That's going to be the difference. You sack the manager. Because when it was us saying that, you called us all sport brats.
Yeah,
for wanting the manager out so soon.
Because the caliber of players is different.
No, clearly it wasn't when I had lower expectations.
I feel like
you're missing the point. A manager with
a quality squad with higher expectations.
A manager with the likes of Isak, Ekitike, Wirtz, Salah, Van Dijk, Alisson is expected to perform at a much higher level.
But the one thing
I'm wondering why a team of players like that has such a weak-minded mentality whenever they go a goal down. They need to be able to manage games better. Experienced players like that.
Yeah,
they need to be able to keep their heads switched on, and they're not doing it. That's why it's not all
that's from the manager
as well.
But again, this
because Ekitike goes on a very good run.
There's a level of experience that you have as a player that you're telling me
goes on a good run and then he gets dropped. Certain players play badly, they don't get dropped, as an example. A player will go on like a 2-3 game streak where he's playing well, and then he'll get dropped the game after, etc., etc., etc. Like, okay, some of you guys have been criticizing Wirtz this season, rightfully so, £100 million signing, blah blah blah. But I believe Slot has fucked his confidence in himself up. Every time I watch him for Germany, forget GA, fuck GA. He's saucing on the football pitch. He's actually saucing, like it's full on sauce.
Yeah, because he can play in Germany, he can't play abroad.
He should be under pressure for that.
Again, I can understand. Again, Husam, I can understand players like Wirtz. I think Wirtz is a young player. Yes, he's an amazing player, and there's a lot of price tag on his head, a massive price tag. No. But again, we expect him to perform. But what I'm saying is, Mohamed Salah is an experienced player. there's a lot of experienced players on your team that you cannot tell me that the manager, with all the experience they've gained over all these years, the manager comes one day and just messes them up. Like, are you telling me that with all my experience at my job, if I go to a new job and I have a bad manager, right? Somebody who's above me bad, my experience just goes out the window. I won't still be able to manage my job and figure my way out and at least get over like certain
Dio,
things.
where'd your energy go? Where'd that energy go when you were like talking about Foden every week last season?
Foden every week last season, because again,
no. I'm just asking, where'd that energy go? Because look at the drop off. Dio,
let me tell you where the
look
energy
at the
went
drop off
to.
from Salah. I'm just
ask the question.
I know, but let me finish. I wasn't completely done because I want to bring the comparison.
What's the question?
You had a lot of energy last season for the player of the season to fall off with Phil Foden. And then when we look at this year's performance of Mo Salah, who last year was player of the season, I'm noticing a difference in energy.
Am I not talking about him now? You literally caught me halfway while I was speaking about
No, but the energy is different.
Also, Foden is not 35.
What energy are you talking about?
We're doing the age thing.
Okay, hold on. He said
Breaking news: player at 35 is not expected to perform as player at 25.
No, hold on.
Wow, flawless! I said something so
fraudulent
there.
I want to understand what you mean by energy. Are you saying that when I was talking about 40, my energy level was 95%, and now that I'm talking about,
to be honest, Dio's the last one you come to with the energy debate.
I'm literally criticizing Salah in between, and you stop.
He's actually cooked every single Liverpool player, Dio. So don't talk about the energy. He's cooked all of them.
He knows. I'm not even blaming his manager as much as I blame the players. You cannot tell me Van Dijk, who I see as the best centre back, single centre back, his experience is out the window. What are we talking about here? You can't tell me that Salah, with what he did last season, can't bring up 50% of what he did last season this season, regardless of what the manager's strategy is. You can't tell me that the players that you have, like Isak, what Isak did at Newcastle last season, he can't give you 30% of that right now. These guys are actually giving you 5% of every single thing that they did last season, or even less. And what sitting here saying is just the manager's
I wanted to play against Isak on Saturday.
One sec, but the thing about Liverpool now, but teams drop off. You know, like
I get that. But my point is there's a level of
but what I'm trying to say is like if Ancelotti drops off at a club the next season and gets sacked, is he no longer a good manager? Sometimes it's just I think personally, right, some of the players, right, obviously there's the Jota thing, RIP, but I think the squad, the way they built this squad, I'm not sure some of the players in the squad were happy about the Nunez's and the Diaz's leaving and stuff like that. I don't know how happy like the setup they are. You know, players are being asked to do things that maybe they didn't do last season, and they're not as cool. Thank you. And I look at happy. The buck stops at Slot. The buck stops at the manager, because Dio, whilst you might be correct in saying, okay, what about the players, the effort levels, things like that? But if you have a number of top players who are underperforming, you kind of have to go back to the manager.
I think it's sabotage. I just think it's sabotage. If you have a number of top players underperforming, it is sabotage. You cannot tell me that the backbone of Liverpool, Alisson, best goalkeeper, Van Dijk, best defender, Mo Salah, mad records that he broke last season. We know Mo Salah has been consistent for the last 5 seasons. For you to sit here and tell me that these players, half the players.
Did I say that?
And I don't want
to.
No, he's talking to Husam. No, Jay, he's talking to Husam.
What did I say?
One sentence answer to your question. One sentence. I'm not even going to give paragraphs. Guys, 1 second. 1 second, just so the chat can listen to what you're saying. Let me just answer your question. 1 sentence. I'm not even going to do a monologue or paragraph or anything. Slot is asking every single outfield player to do stuff that they're uncomfortable with and stuff that we didn't employ last season. That's why they all look like shit.
Again, geez, you know what? I don't buy this. I don't buy this because again, a player like, I'll give you a player like a Mikel Merino, who is a midfielder, who is a nobody in the world of midfield. He's a nobody. He's a nobody player when you're talking about midfielders. If we're going to start rating top midfielders in top 20, he's not there. But a manager uses him as a striker and he performed in a different role, something that he's not used to doing. So let's not sit here and you tell me that a player with the caliber of Salah, a player with the caliber of Van Dijk, a player with the caliber of McAllister, a goalkeeper like Alisson shipping 3 against this thing, injury or no injury, Alisson should not be shipping 3. Your defense, Konate, like what are we talking about here? That because of that, all of a sudden the manager's tactic is making all of them look bad. That is
Yeah, but-
nonsense. This is sabotage by your players. Your players don't want to play for this manager, and they're going to sabotage this guy until this guy gets fired.
Hey,
That's
Jay,
all
I
it
got
is.
this. There's just one response. So you're mentioning Salah, right? Describe Salah for me. So let's say Salah retires tomorrow. What would you say, Dio?
Salah is amazing. I think he's an amazing player. I would say one of
What
my
would you
top
describe him?
three.
What you say are his best
I would say one of my
attributes?
top three best ever Premier League players of the Premier League era. Like Salah is on that
Okay.
list for me.
When you look at Salah, you describe him at his best as a unbelievable goal scorer and a fantastic playmaker.
Yeah, very true.
You're asking Salah to be the outlet for the team and basically do JJ Okocha. We're asking him to dribble past 5-6 players every single game. We're asking
Yeah, but I'm
the
saying
best
to you,
player. Basically, let me tell you what happens. You understand football, Dio. That's why you shouldn't get frustrated. If I was having this conversation with Vater, I understand, but you understand football. So let me tell you exactly what happens. So Salah gets the ball at the right wing. Vater, I have to send shots at you every stream.
No. I'm calm. I got my
Part of the game, you know
bullets
I love
ready.
you.
I got
But
my bullets
anyway,
ready.
Salah would get the ball at the touchline. The right back is inverting. The right back is inverting. The two DMs are high up the pitch. And I'm asking Mo, literally, to beat his fullback every single time and deliver a cross or deliver a killer pass every single fucking time. Now, as great as Mo is, Mo at his best, is a good dribbler. Let's not exaggerate and use bad words like, oh shit, average, crap. No, he's just good. He ain't amazing. He ain't very good. He ain't elite. He's just a good dribbler at his best. I can't ask a 34, 35-year-old Salah to get the ball and get past 5-6 players to create a chance because he's our only outlet. You get it? So I'm asking players to do stuff that they're not comfortable with. I'm asking players to do.
I just gave you an example.
Wait. McAllister and Gravenberg. They're good. Everyone here knows this. Even Vater knows this. They're good deep. They're good when they are in front of the center backs. They're good in those areas. I'm asking Gravenberg and McAllister to basically become 2-10s and be attacking.
Right, but hold on, but
again, all of these things that you have said, like all of these things that you have said is basically you're taking away the responsibility of the player or how good they are.
And I'm going to agree with you here because in the game, some of those goals, the defending was pathetic. Like as in the second goal, especially. To me, like how I think it's Jesus got through on the edge of the box. I'm like, you can't tackle like that. Like, do you know what I mean? You can't let your player go through. And that I'll agree with Dio. The softness, the aggression to not want to concede, the pride in being the champions, it doesn't exist at the moment in the team. Let's be honest, it doesn't exist.
I agree.
And I'm not trying to blame anybody specifically for that. Because that energy can go because they've won. It can go because of what's happened off the pitch. It can go because players are getting older. It can be a combination of all of the above, but it's gone.
I just don't see the energy. You're right. I just don't see the energy.
I was rolling, and it wasn't really. There wasn't really a window to come in there. I'll try to keep it tight but listen, before I go there, I'm saying that. When you take all of that into account with where Liverpool's at, yeah, they're mid-table at the moment, 12 games in. It's a lot of defeats. And if you look at Slot's managerial history, because I was having this conversation with somebody before, and I was like, I like De Zerbi. I think he's a good coach. And he's like, yeah, but De Zerbi's not as good a coach as Slot. I was like, oh, Slot's a little bit more accomplished. And he's, he had the COVID league with AZ. He had the league with Feyenoord. He's won the league with Liverpool. This is probably the first time in his career he's had like this level of like defeats in a row. Do you know what I mean? So it's like he can fix it, but I don't know a huge number of managers who fixed it from this position. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
I don't.
no,
This ain't fixable.
No. Let's not do that, Flawless. This is fixable for top 4, top 5. It's
Yeah.
not fixable to challenge for the league.
Of course not. But you
but
can turn it.
No,
This
but
should
there's
be-
another element of fixable, Vater. Champions League.
All right, interrupt me. Go ahead.
Vater, can you not be dramatic? Because I just said 2 words.
You know I gotta
said
go.
There's
So
another
go ahead,
element
go
of
ahead, go ahead.
fixable.
No, go
I
ahead.
said there's another element of fixable. Champions League done. Khalas, that's it.
And they apart from that, they've
Yeah,
just
so
lost
if it's-
8 and 13. Sorry,
so
or 8
now
and
if-
11. Go on.
If it's fixable Champions League, then there should still be a civil war, right? If it's still fixable, then this manager should be able to turn this around with regards to a good performance in Champions League. So those that want him out are clearly have no belief, and I think they have no belief because they realized last season was fugazi. They realized that he wasn't really tested, and they don't believe that he can be that guy to close out the season. Now, I'm not going to go and actually go into my agendas with regards to that. I'm going to do that on my show. But I'm going to emphasize this. Husam, you need to stop your Salah fanboy. You keep pulling out these stats that make Salah look good within these games. But to what you've been saying, no one's looked good under this manager, right? He's been one of the good of the bad. But so Bosley, in my opinion, has been the most consistent, but he's been asked to do everything. Yeah. He's been asked to do everything, not just play in the midfield. So slot out with the Chelsea voice, right? Should be what many fans should be doing, because I don't believe that the belief is there. But if I'm going to say anything with regards to Liverpool, you and Husam, when you want to take your shot and be like, listen, hey, Jay, let me talk to you. Dio, let me talk to you. You know ball. Flawless, let me talk to you. You know ball. Well, you know what? When I want to talk about championships, when I want to talk about Prem titles, when I want to talk about repeat, I talk to Flawless and Lewis, right? I talk to those guys. And you should have been talking to these guys as well as myself before you moved fraudulently in the offseason. I don't care what you did with that transfer window. If you know how difficult it is to repeat, you shouldn't have been moving like this. And the majority of the Liverpool fans are embarrassed because they didn't understand how difficult it was to repeat. They didn't know how challenging it was.
You said the same thing, man.
What do you mean?
Everyone would have said the same thing. You know this.
No, they would not. No.
Don't do this. You're telling me if I gave Dio, Isak, and Ekitike and Verts...
Dio's the wrong person. Like I said, you're talking to people that haven't repeated. If you talk to Flawless or Lewis or myself,
you think if I gave Lewis, Alexander Isak, he wouldn't say we're going to win the league? Are you crazy?
Because Lewis might have said... Hold on. But Lewis might have said...
Oh, yeah.
Run me that with Diego Costa.
Yeah, he wants the player, but he's not going to say...
Yeah, when they swap the striker, and
I want to have my feet up.
Sometimes doing the double requires continuity. It requires a high level of continuity in the team. Like when Conte won the league and then swapped the striker, team fell apart because the continuity sometimes that you need, like in winning a title. So you're talking about buying Verts, buying Isak, and these guys, to be fair, might say, "Hey, listen, when we made big changes to title-winning teams, we fell off. We couldn't win the following season." So it's not ridiculous. Whilst Beta says it in an incredibly gaslighty way, it's not actually a bad point that he's making. It's actually a good point.
I'm not saying it's a bad point. You know me, Jay. I'm not saying it's a bad point. Okay? I'm simply saying if anyone on the panel, including Lewis, who knows about back-to-back, was given in the summer, if I come to Carefree Lewis G in the month of August and I go like, Lewis, here's your transfer window. Isak, Verts, Ekitike. Forget Karkas Frimpong, right? Imagine they bought them just as depth, okay? So they had Isak, Verts, Ekitike. Do you really believe that Lewis wouldn't come here and go like, man, we're going to destroy this league? What's wrong with that, bro? Why do you guys always act like...
I believe we can win this league, but I'd also question why we didn't get a centre-back with all that money spent.
Thank you. There's a balance. But Lewis, this is the point. Let me make this point because I got to drop.
You got to have balance.
No, we're talking about the quality of the player.
Dio, this is in your conversation. No disrespect. This is in your conversation.
Here's what I mean by that. Victor, you can mute your mic.
You would have been the equivalent of Margehi, basically.
You can mute your mic because you're not winning anything this season. I know that's why it's hurting you so far.
Oh yeah, no, 1-0 Dio.
What I'm talking about is the quality of the players, Lewis. I'm not saying that again. Yeah, you can talk about the balance of your team, but there's a certain level of quality of player that you put on the pitch. For example, you mentioned Szoboszlai. You said Szoboszlai has been your best player this season. Szoboszlai has been asked to do things that he's not used to as well, but he's getting it done. And he looks good even in that bad system, which is why I'm holding your other players to account. To say the rest of your players, if Szoboszlai can do it, then the rest of them should be able to step up and add it and do something as well. Because Szoboszlai has been asked to do the same different thing that he's not used to. He's playing right back, he's playing midfield, he's running up and down the pitch, and he looks good doing it. You said it yourself. He's your best player this season. That if they're going to give player of the season Liverpool right now, give it Szoboszlai.
But no offense, but if he's their best player, is that why they're 12th?
No, but my point
I was
is
about
no,
to
no,
ask
see-
the same thing.
no. My point.
It's summarized the answer. What the fuck is the question?
No, my
I'm joking.
point,
I'm
Jay,
joking. I
is,
like
yeah,
Sean
I know.
Black.
I'm just saying, like, I just don't like this idea that everybody, okay, fine, put 50% at the manager's feet, but you guys have too much quality in your squad.
50%? You put 60
Yeah,
like a month ago.
Okay, fine.
You took it down 10%.
You know why I took it down 10? Because I'm looking at these stats and they annoy me because chances are being created and your players are not putting it away. Like, if I'm seeing this,
you know this. There is high quality chances and then there is low
listen,
quality chances.
you have
These are
Husam.
Or
I
it
don't
could
buy
be
that.
across the
I
defender
think that-
clear. There's so many different
You
examples.
know what? I think
these
that
are chances. These are one Nunes was
listen
missing
now.
last season.
Listen, my point.
Yeah, thank you, Jay. That's my point. If those were the ones like, you know, when Nunes was like 1-on-1 in goal, and you go like, oh my god, I didn't do this once the whole game. Other than the McAllister one that was blocked, I go like, oh shit. Other than that, I didn't.
You created high quality chances for a Nunes that you said was a crap player, and he didn't put it away. But you have quality players that can put away half chances. Your players have quality enough to be able to put away half chances. Let's stop trying to. Now you're trying to make it look like Salah needs a big, clear chance to be able to put the ball in the back of the net. We've seen Salah score half chances before. We've seen your players, Isak, last season. So let's not do this. Oh, these players have enough quality to be able to score low scoring chances and put the ball in the back of the net. Yes or no? Or otherwise, what you're saying,
absolutely, you're right.
because
Yes.
you can't turn around and tell me at the beginning of the season that if you give me Isak, if you give me Vert, if you give me this, I'm going to win the league. I'm going to kick my leg up. Now I'm saying if those players are rated the way you rate them, they should be putting away half chances. Now all of a sudden the chances are not quality enough. Burn all that nonsense.
We are creating quality chances.
Burn that nonsense.
You know how like
right.
last season, you know, we were mad because Nunes would miss a tap-in. We're not even creating tap-ins.
Yeah, Nunes was crap. So Nunes would miss a big chance. You expect crap players to miss a big chance. But you don't expect a good player to miss a half chance.
I'm talking about the quality.
Erling Haaland will spin in the air, do 360 and bicycle kick the ball from halfway line. That is a 0.0001 chance and put in the back of the net.
No.
We rate him and we expect him to do that. So we rate your players just like
Unless,
you rated
unless
your
it's
players.
Newcastle away.
We rate your players like you rated them in the summer and said, I'm going to kick my leg up and I'm going to win the league because that's what you said, because the quality was high up here. So now you cannot turn around and tell me that these same quality players that we rated in the summer need a clear chance. There must be no goalkeeper in the net for them to score the goal.
But Dio, you're being unfair here because the blame then needs to go in. Okay, listen, I'm not a blamer per se, but I'm a logical guy and we have to reach a logical conclusion. You don't want to blame Slot, but you also want to say
I blame the manager, but I also want to blame the player.
Hold on. I'm saying you don't want to blame. You don't want to
Wait.
You don't want to blame Slot per se. I'm saying on the flip side, you're also saying these players that were rated in the summer a few months later are not being rated again. So I'm like, okay, if we want to say that these players haven't suddenly become bad players, then we have to have and rationalize a reason as to why these players don't look as good. So therefore, what is the reason? It can't just be
my reason. No, my reason was that the players don't want to play for this manager. Not that they've lost their quality. I think that these players are literally just right now, just like, you know what, we don't like what you're asking us to do, because I don't believe that a system can literally kill all these quality players at the same time.
It's a mix of the two, Dio. Yeah. It's kind of self-sabotage from the players, but also from the manager as well. Liverpool have quality players, so there's a certain level they shouldn't drop under. You've mentioned Alisson, Van Dijk, Gravenberch, Salah, Isak, Vert. One of us five should be able to be in the dugout, and there's a certain level they should perform to, even though none of us are qualified to be in that role. However, the reason why I say it's also on the manager is because they are like you are a human being, and if you're at the highest level of something and your manager is telling you as a team to do something that is clearly not working, you are going to lose faith and you are going to be unable to perform at the highest level, because what Slot is asking him to do is idiotic. Let's be what it is, and there's only so many times your manager can tell you consistently to go out there game week after game week after game week and you underperform and you lose. Because this isn't nothing new, by the way. Like, this is from when they won the league last season. Mathematically, they was in poor form, and even the start of this season, when they are winning games, they was not performing well. That plays on your mind, and then when the results start going the other way, and then you start getting criticism from your own fans, criticism from rivals, criticism from pundits, I'm looking at him. It's extremely tough to play at your
It's just hard to juxtapose though, because when you then look at the craft that the manager is asking them to do in every game, and you look at the data and you look at the stats, it's creating chances. They ball possession. This so-called system that Slot is implementing is so bad that Liverpool is dominating teams and creating chances and not scoring those chances. So my
ball
question
possession,
is,
Van Dijk passed to
hold on. So
Konate
my
300 million
my
times.
thing is,
Wow,
my thing is, if we say that the system is bad, okay, fair
we
enough.
have
But then when the
touched
chance
the
is created, show me the quality that you have as Mo Salah. Show me the
Third
quality that
most
you have
touches
as
in the
Julian Wirtz.
opposition box.
It's not what I'm saying. Like that's all I'm saying.
Wow, we had more touches.
Like Husam mentioned, and like Lewis
That means that
mentioned,
you're getting the ball in there.
Once you start looking at stats over before the eye test, that tells you under Poch, Chelsea had what? The second most big chances created. They were
Yeah,
all
man.
That's my point. My point is, this is
and guess what, Flawless? They had
This is
Nicholas
sabotage
Jackson up
then.
top, not Alexander
awful.
Isak.
So
everything you're
saying, so that means everything you're saying is pointing at the fact that the players are just sabotaging the team. Simple.
To an extent,
that's
yeah,
what I'm
but they're not. They are sabotaging to an extent. I agree with that. I believe they've also. I don't think it's fully sabotage. I think they've lost faith. I think they've lost confidence. Some of them, I think it's a mix. I think some of them are frustrated. I think some of them have lost confidence. I believe some of it is a little bit of self-sabotage, but I lean towards the first two I mentioned. Because like I said, when the manager is consistently telling you to go out there and do something that is working against you, that is frustrating. And I don't know whether they've actually said to him, hey, this is not working and try to do our own thing. But for everybody to look bad, it's on the manager. Granted, they should be doing better. Again, I said there's a certain level they should not fall under. But
Flawless, you want to know what proves your point?
And that level is losing to Nottingham Forest at home
He came out-
3-0.
Yeah.
Let me-
And then before you go, and then man, you can see
the
them
Villa and the
broken.
Madrid game.
Right.
He came out publicly and said, "I went against my ideals."
There we go. So they're better
So he
performance.
said it.
The manager saying, I'm going against my, and everyone universally goes, that's Liverpool's best performance. And he goes, it's against my principles. And also, you know how you can tell they're broken? Look at them when they can see the goal. Look at them
8
when they can
wins in
see the
11
goal.
games. Fuck your principles.
That is,
Respectfully.
that is a team.
450 million.
That is a
in
dial.
Premier
That
League
is a
goals.
team that has zero confidence. Look at Liverpool when they concede a goal.
I
Look at the
agree
team.
I agree with you
That's
on the
not
confidence and all that.
self-sabotage. That is genuine lack of confidence and lack of belief. They're home to Nottingham Forest. They go a goal down and they look like they can't get back into the game.
Also, what is possession? Possession is Konate passing to Van Dijk 500 times?
No,
Great.
you're missing my point again.
Great.
I'm not saying
Wow,
possession
I'm
does.
so happy.
Again, it's the context of what I'm saying is
possession.
listen, the
Konate, Van
context-
Dijk, Van Dijk,
hold on.
Konate. Van
The
Dijk,
context-
Kirkes,
the
Kirkes,
context of what-
Alisson.
Hold on,
Alisson, Van Dijk.
Don't do that. They don't pass the Kirkes. Don't do that. They ignore him. You know what I'm saying? They don't pass
The context that I'm putting that in, Husam, is a quality player like Van Dijk. I've seen him play long balls. So even if you want to claim that they're passing between themselves, there's a point where Van Dijk should be able to open up with a pass, but he's not even able to do that anymore. I'm like,
So
that's
my,
the process.
so I
No,
bought,
my
I
question is,
bought
that's
Florian Wirtz and Isak and Ekitike, and my unlocking pass is Van Dijk to Salah.
No,
Let's
I'm
be
not.
real.
I'm again. I did not say,
let's move
again.
on to the
Can you stop? Can
North
you stop doing that? Can you stop doing that? Can you
You
stop doing
and
that?
Lewis both have.
Can you
sunk
stop doing
into
that?
debate.
What I'm saying is, I'm saying you have a quality player in
Absolutely
Van Dijk,
not.
for example. I'm using Van Dijk as an example.
Oh,
I am
you're
not saying that you won't have to
comparing
unlock your
Jackson and
passes.
Sterling.
So don't.
Great
don't
idea.
You've been
be
just
disingenuous.
relying on possession stats. We're
Don't
not
be
talking about the
disingenuous
third
at
most
all.
touches in
At
the
all.
in your opposition box.
The fact that you don't want to hold
You
the
know,
players
I
accountable, you only
testify
want to hold the
By the
manager
way, let me
accountable.
actually just read these. So we can move on to the
Stats
Northland
don't
Derby.
lie.
We can move to the Northland Derby and
That's
United.
your gaffer,
Everton.
bruv. You're letting him walk alone.
Lewis, stats don't lie. Who's better, Salah or Hazard?
Eden Hazard always has
There
been,
you go.
always will
Stats
be.
don't
All
lie.
don't lie.
Stats don't lie. The least GA
the
he
shelf.
got is more than Hazard.
You're
most
talking
GA.
individuals.
Stats-
I'm talking a team. How does that make
Stats
sense?
don't lie. Stats don't lie. Big up
That's
everyone.
a team achievement. We're talking
Lewis,
a team.
Anything you will try, I'll debunk
Fraud.
it. You know I'm a fraud. You cannot out.
How about you? How about
No,
you
I'm a
calling us
fraud.
sport rats for
What?
turning on our manager while you turn on a Premier
Well, let's
League
name
winner?
one person on the current panel who isn't a fraud.
Jay, Dio, Lewis. It's just
You whoa! You think
Thank
Lewis
you,
ain't a
Flawless.
fraud?
Thank you.
no,
Look at you
he's
laughing.
not. I said he's
You think
not.
Lewis ain't fraudulent?
No, Lewis ain't fraudulent. He might be to
Me?
you, not to me. Yeah, Lewis ain't a fraud. Jay ain't to me. Neither's Dio.
I know fraud.
It's
What
just
the
you.
fuck?
Husam is a fraud. We've all known
Honest,
this.
if you're gonna claim you're not a fraud, you're a liar. You know you're a
Why?
fraud.
I'm not a fraud. How am I a fraud? Whoa. Why
None
you
of
say
us are
fraud?
fraudulent.
I'll be
It's
honest,
just you.
all 5 of us are frauds. Big up to Fonzie, who says, big up everyone
This
as a
guy.
Benfica fan. I love the objective chat on what's going on in the Prem. It's cool. I like to keep up with sometimes. I love it. Fonzie, it's dark times, man. Jay, you lost to Arsenal and you bought Wenger's coat.
It's actually a body. It's actually a body warmer. Like it's a body warmer. It's a long body warmer.
It looks like
it looks like
I was gonna say that is the roadman attire, man. That's what I say about that. It's fine.
It does look like Wenger's coat.
It does. Big up to James Boris, who's actually an Everton fan. Never felt more like singing the blues than when Everton win and Liverpool lose. Sam, I got a better job. I'm going to need 3 extra large orders of fries in the bag. Brother, we didn't just put the fries in the bag. We have the fries in the bag and the burger in the bag and the milkshake in the bag. The whole restaurant is in the bag right now, bro. We are done. We are completely. The bag itself is in the bag. That's how bad it is. You get me. Anyway. Big up to all of you guys locked in. We're here 3:20 a.m. and I'm getting cooked. No problem. Just get me likes, guys. It's free button. Helps the channel grow. Let's get the likes up, please. Subscribe to the channel if you're ready to do so. I want to move on, talk about the North London derby, and then after that we'll speak about United Everton. But just because obviously we got a Spurs rep and a United and a Arsenal.
Do I get time to talk about my 2-0 win against Burnley?
No, nobody cares, Lewis.
Why do I get
nobody cares, yo,
anymore?
Because nobody cares, yo.
No one gives a flying fuck
yo.
about you beating Burnley. You fucking
always
fraud.
lose.
Yeah.
Hey,
Don't give
Flawless,
28
he's not a
shit.
fraud. He wants to get a Chelsea Burnley segment. Yeah, he ain't a fraud though.
Yeah, I want to talk about Andre
I'm with you on
Santos.
that, Sam. Nobody cares,
Okay,
man,
here,
about Andre Santos.
See, real pop cares.
Here you go. Lewis turns on his managers because he knows that his club bought their way to the top with legalized cheating and blood money. They ruined English football before even City did. Frauds. Here you go. He's calling you out.
You are 150% an Arsenal fan.
He's an Everton fan.
Why do you talk like an Arsenal fan? I was backing you. The fuck? We're meant to be working together.
You missed that one. You missed that one, Lewis.
That's
You
Arsenal
have to
energy.
evade the press sometimes. You have to evade
missed that one. That's what
You're at the top. You're the king. You don't need to respond to these minions.
I bet if you want me to answer his point, we don't care. We'll do it again. You think I give a shit?
There you go.
We'll ruin football one more time. Up the fucking Chelsea.
See,
I'm glad we did it. You
and
think we care?
Mad, I called him a fraud. Salah Trevelyan into the box. Isak, Nico Jackson, the volley, but it's on slot. I've never seen such unfair hate for a manager who dominated Madrid, by the way. Blaze, don't lie, because even when I was speaking, and even Dio acknowledged that, even though I had the back and forth with him, I did say Isak should minimum be hitting the target. So don't act like I'm... By the way, I said it's Isak's worst game in Liverpool shirt. So don't act like I'm not holding the players accountable. I am. But my logic is very basic. 10 outfield players look like ass. I've got to look at who's managing them. And Flawless as well. That's his logic too. That's why me and him said the same thing like from a month ago. Anyway, so guys, let's just move on to the North London derby. Can we let Jay speak first, please, Dio? Is that okay?
I'm not even speaking on this one. I'm just gonna be quiet.
Yeah, let Jay speak. Jay, 4-1 loss away at the carpet.
Yeah, what's going on? Yeah, not exactly how I thought the game was gonna go. Yeah, like it goes. So going into the game, right? I was trying to be like, okay, listen, we've got the best away record in the league. We're going to this game, I give us a puncher's chance. I'd even go as far as to say 25-30%. That's why I was like, coming in. I said Frank would have a plan. Now, going to this game, he plays a back three and a 2-man. Now, Arsenal, obviously, straight away, they're playing 3 in the middle, so we're overloaded. They also invert Calafiore, invert Timber, Marino dropping deep, and it's like, at times, it's like 6-on-2, 6-on-3. Completely overloaded. Arsenal just, Frank absolutely shot the bed with their tactics. I think we created, I think since football started recording XG against Arsenal and Chelsea, we recorded under 0.1 XG in each game. 0.1 XG. So, I think, Richarlison's shot was like 0.04 XG. So it gives you an indication of how little that we created. So I believed that we potentially could have got a result. I'm not shocked at how bad I am shocked at how bad we played. Honestly, I think the fans are very short on patience with Frank, I mean, like, I was told by a lot of people that Frank was a top manager. Like, I think he's got time, but not that much time. Arsenal were just too good for us. We could have gone behind after 2 minutes, because if Rice, puts it slightly better finish, great save by Vicario, but we could have been behind already. And I just think that, from a simple point of view, they outran us, they outfought us, they were better on the ball. And yeah, I think you got to look at the manager and the players and the tactics that we set up. But obviously Arsenal were way too good for us. But I don't even think Arsenal were that good on the ball in this game. I think they were good I think they were very good without the ball. But on the ball, I don't think they were particularly fantastic. I think Spurs were quite poor defensively, very poor in the press. Just like, I think Spurs need to be very, very careful, because this is a very tight league. Do you know what I mean? And it's like a couple more defeats, like, I don't know. It's not clicking for Tottenham, but, congratulations to Arsenal. I thought Spurs would be a lot better. We weren't. I don't think it was just down to Tottenham. I think Arsenal were very good. So, I did think my team has now embarrassed me in 2 derbies. So there will be no positive predictions moving forward until my team redeems themselves with some sort of reasonable result. But yeah, very disappointing for Tottenham.
Hey, you're going to get the question, so I might as well ask you. Fonzie's indirectly asking it. Choo. Thomas the Frank Engine. What were we saying? Are you done? Like something?
No, not at all. I think it's very surprising how little we're able to create. But I mean, this is the thing, right? The thing is, what I've always said is, when we sacked Ange, was I okay or happy with Frank becoming manager? And I was fine with it. I was like, yeah, I could see the rationale and logic. Would I have sacked Ange for Frank? No. Like, as in, like, would I have sacked Ange to hire Thomas Frank? I would not have. But once Ange was sacked, I was fine with Thomas Frank becoming manager.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying, yeah? So I feel like...
Would I sack Slot for Iraola? Probably not. If we get Iraola,
but if you sack Slot, you would hire Iraola.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah,
so I'm like you. Exactly like you. Like, I wouldn't, but if we got him, I wouldn't. I'd be like, okay, I get it.
Yeah, exactly. So So with that, then, I think the question is always like with Frank, can he coach an attack? Can he coach possession football? Can he scale up? Do you know what I mean? And that's like the thing that I think everybody kind of overlooked. Like, he was just suddenly magically become a manager that's able to dominate possession and create chances. And, I personally expected us to get a slightly nuanced, but this is my stupidity. Because my stupidity is, we hired Nuno with the same backstory. Yeah. It's like, did well at Wolves, transition manager, pragmatic, got them into Europe. So we got this manager, and I just like, okay, it's just going to be different, or he's just going to learn how to coach and attack, or it's just going to magically work. And I think he's got time, but I think Spurs fans need to think, this guy's learning on the job a little bit here. Do you know what I mean? It's like, this guy, does he actually have this in his bag right now? Not to say he won't have it in the next 1 year, 2 years, but right now, can this guy coach in a possession-based attack that can win games in the Premier League? I don't know. I don't know. And if he can't, then how long is a fan's going to give him? How much goodwill exists? You've seen what we did against Chelsea. We've seen what we did against Arsenal. The fans have seen us draw with Wolves at home, lose to Bournemouth at home. Like, if you lose the home fans, you lose everybody. So PSG next, again, very okay. Maybe looking at a loss there. It makes the Fulham game at the weekend very, very important. So yeah. Over to you, Dio.
I mean, there's not. I don't know.
Dio, floor is yours.
I mean, at the end of, here's the thing I wanted to say. I know, there was a lot of people saying, Spurs have a good away record and all that. But then they failed to realize that Arsenal has the best home record with Man City right now this season. So again, you're talking about two teams that are good on, good both good individually and when it comes to that type of record, because you're coming to a ground where one is tough. It's a North London derby, and as a derby, you know, I'm tempted to not talk football right now and just banter Tottenham. But let me focus on the football. On the football, we were better in every facet than Tottenham. I think they came to play for a draw, and if Arsenal had ever set up like that, they would call us cowards. So I would say it. Your manager was a coward, regardless of injuries. I give him kudos. He's working with what he has. You guys have 16 injuries, the most in the league right now. I can turn around and say that because if that was me, I would give myself that same space. But your manager was a coward. You guys came to play for a draw, and this is what happens when you play for a draw. Because once the first goal goes in, you then have to come out. And when you come out, this is what happens. Arsenal will destroy you. I have to say something about Richarlison's goal. Out of nowhere. Amazing goal.
What a goal, by the way.
What a goal. You know what? I can't hate on it. I
don't even hate on it. That could be goal of the season, low key.
You don't even understand. Let me explain. Like, you know, I have to console myself and say, well, you know what? This is the only way people can score against Arsenal now. It has to either be Erling Haaland, a crazy goal, a Szoboszlai Waldy, or a Richarlison, amazing. Like, it's just the only way to concede outside the Sunderland goals, of course. Yeah, outside the Sunderland goals. But I have to say, honestly speaking, that Richarlison's goal came out of nowhere. And it felt like right after that, for like five minutes or so, like they could do something. You could see it in them.
I want to ask you something legitimately, yeah? Because I watch Arsenal play football, and I think there is a quality difference. And Mo pointed this out, I think, last week. Quality difference on application and the way that you play on the pitch compared to City, Chelsea, and Liverpool, right? I understand because you're emotionally invested, and I'm legitimately not even asking you to like give like, oh yeah, 100%. But do you believe now that okay, like this is definitely our season?
Yeah, I've been saying that from the beginning of the season. And again, you can't be second. Improve your team. You know where you made your mistakes. You're literally like you've always been there trying to get through that line, and now you have what it takes to be able to fix those mistakes. I don't, you know, the first stream we had this season, you remember I told you I broke down everything I thought was our issues. And I know people were laughing and all that, but again, it is what it is. The things that I think could cost us the league is only Arsenal. We're the only ones that can beat ourselves this season.
Yeah.
We're the only ones that can beat ourselves this season. The truth about it is, again, people are going to refer back to the 22-23 season where we were 8 points ahead of City and say, well, yeah, you bottled 8 points then. But they forget to say that City had 2 games in hand in that season. And we're talking about the Manchester City in 22-23 that was a powerhouse. So you were guaranteed that they were going to win those 2 games, which means technically we were just 2 points ahead of City. Technically, if you look at that season properly, that's what it was technically. And 2 points ahead of City, who says they're not going to catch you? But the difference this season is they're not playing any of those world championships. They're not moving any of their games. We have the same number of games. There's no game in hand, and we're already 7 points ahead of them. Now, if I bottle this 7 points to City this season, not only Arteta, the Cronkies, everybody just needs to go, just sell the club, because now there's no technicality to fall back on. You know,
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
So for me, I just think
you're just better than everyone else right now. And look, jokes aside, for me personally, I've always said this from the beginning. If Liverpool can't win the league and it's an Arsenal City title race, I'm not a City cuck like some people. Rodri handball, we lost to them by 1 point twice. Chelsea, I grew up on the Benitez Mourinho rivalry, and there's a hatred between our clubs. I don't give a fuck if Dio and Igal are annoying. I don't care if Souls is annoying. Let them be annoying. I don't build my rivalry based on which fan base is more annoying. I legitimately hate Man United. I legitimately hate Everton. I hate Chelsea. And I hate City to a smaller degree. I do not hate Arsenal at all. So if it's for you, good luck. Good luck to Arsenal. For
You're an Arsenal cock.
But for me, no, I'm not. I just don't hate them. You hate Arsenal.
No, you're saying some of us are City.
When it was an Arsenal Liverpool title,
same energy.
you wanted Liverpool to win. You were a Liverpool cock last year.
And now you're an Arsenal cock. I'm just saying,
no,
like, there's a little bit of cockery all round here, isn't
bottom line is
the best case scenario is Spurs winning the league for me, because I don't hate them at all. But guess what? They suck, so they'll never win a league. Okay? If there's a surprise like Sunderland winning the league, I will root for them, of course. But right now, it's not happening. So what can I do? But It's not like I'm actively going to be sitting there celebrating Arsenal goals, but for me, out of the scenarios that aren't us, that's the best case scenario for me personally.
Yeah, I just think that
I think Arsenal deserve to win this league because they've been the best team so far. They've had the best squad, and to be honest with you, as a for me, sometimes you have to put emotions on football, and that's an emotional story. We all grew up supporting our football clubs. You know, if Flawless could score a hat-trick at Old Trafford against their local rivals, if Jay could score a hat-trick at White Hart Lane against Arsenal, if I could score a hat-trick against Everton at Anfield, it's like the thing of dreams. You know, everyone, like as a fan of a football club, you dream growing up of scoring a hat-trick.
You can't write that as a story. You just
it is a legitimate dream. So you have
now
to
I want to
feel happy for him on a personal.
Hold on. What did Thomas Frank mean by who is Eze?
Why do I have to feel happy for him?
What did Thomas Frank? Let's address what
you have your Arsenal are your rivals. I'm not expecting you to feel happy at all.
Oh, okay, cool. I was gonna say,
what did Thomas Frank mean by who is Eze? Husam, Thomas Frank.
On his dream.
Eze. I mean, do you know who Eze is now? Does he know who Eze is now? I'm sure he knows who Eze is now because they asked your manager before the game, and he said, "Who is Eze?" That was what Thomas Frank said in the press conference, and Eze announced himself. Eze announced himself to him. He said, "It's been 47 years since someone has scored a hat-trick in the North London derby. Today, I think I'm just going to do it."
It's been how long?
47 years.
Henry never scored a hat-trick against Spurs. Are you sure?
Harry Kane never scored a hat-trick in the North London
derby. Henry, I said.
Henry never scored
a hat-trick. No one in Premier League history.
No, are you crazy? Didn't he score a hat-trick when he won 6-2?
No, he didn't. Not London derby. This is the fourth hat-trick in the North London derby in the history of the North London derby.
Google it now. I'm sure Henry scored the hat-trick.
No, he didn't.
Nah.
He did. Even Harry Kane hasn't scored a hat-trick again. Like with all the amazing players that have played for both teams. Yeah.
Henry actually never scored the hat-trick. He's right.
Yeah. He never scored a hat-trick. This is what I'm saying, that what Eze did there is when it comes to the North London derby, that's a new record there. That's breaking records there. So yes. At the end of the day, when it comes to the game itself, I think we're just better in every phase. We're better. And again, you can see it in the Arsenal drive. And I know people would say, oh, because I support Arsenal. No, these guys are playing. They're coming to do the business. We're not about games. It doesn't have to look good. The game doesn't have to entertain anybody. We don't care. The team is patient enough. They will hold the ball. They will keep the ball until they find a way. And once it goes in the back of the net, guess what? The other team has to come out. And if you come out, you get killed. You will get killed. And this is an Arsenal team that does not have some of its key players. There was no Martin Odegaard in this game. There's no, Gyökeres in this game. Noni Madueke just came off the bench to actually start playing after how many weeks? There's players who are still not there. Martinelli just got back on the bench. So again, this is not even the full squad, and we're able to do stuff like this. I just think that there's still a level. It felt like we played in gear 2 the entire 90 minutes. That's how it felt. That game felt like we were not really trying. It got to a point in the last 4 to 5 minutes where the boys were doing tricks and just passing the ball around, and you could hear the stadium, hey. It literally looked like a training session at the end of the game, honestly. So for me, if we're able to keep up this type of energy level, keep up this type of game stay, go into games, do the business, focus, get 1-0 lock up, get 2-0 lock up. If it's 2-1, whatever it is. But like I said earlier at the very beginning of the stream, we hear what I'm saying it clearly, when we beat Chelsea next week, right at the bridge, when we beat Chelsea next week at the bridge, just stamp the EPL, package it, get it ready, because you're going to have to ship it to North London. I'm just letting you know now. Yeah.
Lewis and Flawless. Let's just get Lewis and Flawless thoughts on the Arsenal Spurs, and then we move on to United Everton.
Never rely on Tottenham for anything. I learned that, and it was a lesson that I've been telling people. So I'm very stupid for thinking that they would actually get something from them. And yeah, Tottenham in it. Sorry, I don't know how they had a back seven and gave Eze the amount of space that they gave for some of his goals. It was genuinely pathetic. But the same thing we spoke about mentality with Liverpool. As soon as Spurs conceded that first goal, gone. They were never coming back.
Not a surprise or a shock to anyone who's been watching Spurs. That's why I don't get Jake. I hear it to an extent because he's a Spurs fan, but this shouldn't be a shock, this result. Spurs have been performing poorly pretty much the entire season, but people get fooled by results. That's why this was not a surprise.
I'd say the Chelsea game and this game have been bad both ways, bad defensively and bad offensively. Whereas before, maybe you could argue we were just bad offensively.
To an extent, but overall, that's not a good performance. If you're good defensively but poor offensively, that's not what you're there for. But what Spurs are trying to do and what Frank's supposed to be, that's not good. You're not. That's surviving relegation. If you're good defensively but poor offensively, you go, all right, we got a chance of staying in the league. And yes, granted, Spurs don't have the best like individual players. Their better attacking players are out, but they shouldn't look as bad as they do from an overall perspective. Again, this is why I didn't give I would have loved to have been pumping up my chest and saying, "Oh, Spurs were gonna get something in this game." I said it. I said, "Yo, there's a question of keep the score down." Pretty much, Arsenal winning. That's why I said Arsenal 3-1. I wanted to say Spurs, but I couldn't. So yeah, it wasn't no surprise. Of course, I'm my fraud. Enemy of my enemy is my friend. Fuck Arsenal. What do you mean?
Oh, but when I said it, I'm the crazy one.
Do you think there's anything that stop Arsenal from winning this league? Obviously, Dyer mentions himself, which is a fair.
Yeah. The major one is Arteta.
Anything else beyond Arsenal's own control that can stop them winning this league?
Arteta and City are capable of getting it together.
A City capable of outpointing Arsenal from this point to the end of the season. A City capable of getting 8 more points than Arsenal.
Yes. Are they capable of that? Yes.
Will they do it? No.
I don't know if they do it.
Again,
they're capable of going on a run.
The question, to say, when I say are they capable, I'm asking then, what's the points total that Arsenal are capable of collecting in that period, and then for City to then collect 8 points more than that? I'm saying
till the end of the season.
You're saying that
how many points we got left? How many points? How many games?
There's still a lot of points left. There's still a lot of points.
How many is it not? There's 26 games left. All right, someone do that quick maths. Someone do the quick maths.
But flawless
before you go. So do the quick maths.
I'm not sure this City is capable of doing that.
All right, but what's the maths? What is it? You're saying 26 games left. How many points is
26 games. I'd say City would need to win.
Nah, forget that. I'm saying how many points are on offer.
No, I'd say City
there we go.
win,
my maths is terrible and I couldn't be asked Googling it. So out of 78 points, do I think they're capable of getting 8 more points than them out of 78? Yes.
No chance. No.
Right.
No way. 8 more points than out of 7. Because
out of 78, yes.
Out of 78. Look, because let's look at.
Remember there are 7 points behind us right now. First,
that's what I'm saying.
So for them to catch up and win.
So hold on, let's start at 8 points. So take the 8 points off. So we got 70 points. Yeah. Of that 70 points, let's say 20 wins. Yeah. So you're basically looking at 20 wins out of 26.
26 games.
Yeah. I think Arsenal are capable of getting 20 wins. Yeah.
So I think so too.
Yeah. So that means City would need to get 8 points more than that. So that means City would need to get 23 wins.
I got my guys.
If they do get 20, blessings, Lewis. If they do get 20, like I said, Arteta is the biggest obstacle.
Yeah, but okay.
Yeah, so but again, this whole Arteta is the biggest obstacle thing. I keep saying this to you guys. Again, you're saying that based off of what he has been doing, but there's something called experience as you get along. Yeah, there's something called you better, and you can see it now in the way he is managing.
He's performing better. Yes,
that he's changed a lot of things. So for me, again, if this was Arteta of 2 years ago,
whoa, wait, before you go, what's this for? Where's my badge? Pattern up, man. Yeah, man, pattern up. You know what I'm saying? But respect me. Add my damn badge. Sorry, go on, Dio. This guy's rude.
Relax.
So here's what I'm saying. Again, Mikel Arteta has shown that he's different with little experience that he's gathered over the last few years. He's managing better this season. He's shuffling players better. He's making the subs early, which is why I said the only thing that can stop us is Arsenal themselves. But when it comes to this mathematical thing that you're talking about, City would have to win 23 straight games, and Arsenal would have to win 20 games and lose 3 games on the bounce for City to actually go above Arsenal by 1 point. Which means there will still be 3 games left in the season.
But it's not a guarantee you get 20 plus wins.
No, I'm saying, but it's also not guaranteed that they can get 23 wins.
Facts. That's why he said to Jay's question, he said, are they capable? Yes, that's what I'm saying. They are capable of catching you. How can they get out of 78 points? Can City get 8 point swing over Arsenal out of 78 points? Yes. Are they capable of that? Yes, that's why you're saying wait till the Chelsea game.
Oh no, for me, the Chelsea
Okay,
game
okay,
is
listen.
no, for me, no.
Di-
Sorry, let me just
guys,
quickly say this. Let me just quickly say this.
I want
The
to
reason
get
I said wait
Dio
till
after Dio, please. I want to move on
yeah.
to United.
The reason I
Everton.
said
Like
the reason I
4
said I'm
a.m. all
going to
day.
wait till when.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about
No,
United.
the
No,
reason
no, we
Entry.
do. No, we do.
The reason why
No,
I
we
said
do.
the Chelsea. The reason why I said the
That's why all
Chelsea
of a sudden
game.
you want to ask questions, Mr. Lean Forward. You cannot fool me. Dio, can you let
No,
it go
yeah.
for me, please? We can speak about United Everton, please.
Just real
Okay,
quick, I
let it
said
go for
the
me.
reason I said the Chelsea game is
Let him
just
say his
because
last point, man.
it's just let me just say my last
Let
point.
him
It's just
say
the
his
last
last point.
The reason I said the Chelsea game is because that means we'll then have played all
Guy's
the
rude,
top
you
six.
know.
Would have then have played all the top 6 teams. Is why I'm saying that. Like for me, that's the thinking. The top
Yeah.
6 teams, not because of the point system. Anyways, is regardless. That's part of it, but it's majorly because now we would have played everybody in the traditional top 6.
You are in the pole position currently, 100%. I just don't think it's done.
I hear
But
you.
go on.
Right.
Go on.
Anyway, let's talk
Go
about
on,
United. Don't try to duck, brother.
No, you're trying to duck because you ducked my question in the group chat. You want to respond to everyone by me? Huh? Yeah. This guy got energy for everyone, in the group chat until I say something back. We gonna get to it. So go on. Yeah. Go on. Run up the likes as well. Hit the subscribe button.
Run up the likes.
I'm ready
people.
for this.
Subscribe
Yeah.
to the channel if you're ready
I'm
to do
ready
so.
for this
And there were 3, guys. And there were
Yes.
3.
There's
There
3
were
of us.
3. 3 left. So, brother Flawless, loved guidance. You lost Everton.
Loving guidance. Yeah.
You lost 1-0 to Everton at home. Talk to the
Yes.
people. Address the people.
I'll address the people in regards to it, but I'm gonna address you first before we get into it. Because last week you was telling me, not last week, before international break, after the Spurs game. Yeah, after the Spurs game, it was, I think you're being negative. Am I still being negative now?
No, because you lost
Okay,
Everton 10 men.
So tell me the difference. So tell me the difference in the. But you watched the game today, right?
Yeah, I did. I did watch.
Did you watch the game against Spurs?
Say it again, sorry.
Did you watch our game against Spurs?
Game I didn't watch, I'll be honest.
What about Nottingham Forest?
The Liverpool were playing at the same time.
Okay, no, I was just asking, but my point is there's too much results-based analysis in regards to it, because our performance today and our performances against Spurs and Forest, well, it's pretty much exactly the same, bar individual pieces of magic in those games. So bar Ahmad, for example, in the Nottingham Forest game, scoring a half volley, or I think it was a volley from the edge of the area. Bar the Spurs game with Ahmad and Bremo linking up for the goal. In regards to it, poor performance is catching up. We've been performing poorly. It's just that at times we've managed to get results because of the individual quality we have in forward areas. So when you have Bremo and you have Cunha and you have Ahmad and you get to it, yeah, I don't know why you've got any Manchester United players in your FPL. That's a recipe for disaster. I'm just saying that now. Do not put any Manchester United player in your FPL team. But as I was saying, our performances have been poor. This is why going into this game, did I predict to win? Yes. But when people was like, it's definitely, I'm confident, it's a home banker. I was like, why? We are capable of losing to anybody. It's like people don't watch us. I believe Manchester United play and it's the Men in Black pen. And it gets clicked and then people go, hey, you know what? They got a result and it wasn't that bad. Again, we didn't perform well today. We didn't perform well against Forest. We didn't perform well against Spurs. Out of the 13 matches we played across all competitions, we put in 3 good performances. Sunderland, Brighton, and Liverpool. Despite our results being mixed, we haven't played well. We didn't play well against Arsenal. We weren't good against Fulham. We weren't good against Grimsby. We weren't good against Brentford. We weren't good against Burnley. We weren't good against, who else we played? Manchester City. The list goes on. But because we've been picking up results and it's been miles better than what it was, people get gassed up by this. So the game today, horrendous, even before the sending off. It was only 13 minutes, we weren't good. And I'm like, progress the ball, get on the ball. Then they get a man sent off and you think, all right, the game swings in your favor, and it don't. Everton played out from the back better than us. With 11 men and with 10 men. This is a David Moyes Everton side. Granted, there wasn't really much chances on either side. We created a couple of chances. Xerxes had a header. That's a tough one. Bruno should probably do better. We got to do better for the goal as well. Bruno's wrong side. Euro's poor. The goalkeeper should save it as well. But again, that's typical Manchester United. Multiple individual mistakes in us conceding goals. 2 major ones, 1 minor one with Bruno. And again, our attack relying on this. I've said this before on this channel. If Bremo and or Cunha don't play well, we don't win games. Cunha wasn't out there today, and Bremo was terrible. Ahmad was terrible, and that was it. Xerxes didn't really do too much.
Your game today was on your manager, and I'll tell you why.
He did.
No,
we know
like
this.
it was Amarim today. No, I'll tell you why it was Amarim today. 13 minutes into the game, I'm talking about today's match, today's game. I did not say generally, Husam. 13 minutes into the match, Everton literally handed that game to United. But between themselves, the Everton players literally handed the game and said, you know what, United is yours to win.
Yes.
Any good manager playing against 10 men would have had that scenario trained out with the players before every game. Good managers do that. Good managers say, well, 11 people on the pitch, this is how we play. If they play this way, this is how we play. If we go down to 10 men, this is how we play. If we go down to 10 men, I'll stop.
Dio, you're done.
So my point is,
you know why you're done, right?
Let me finish.
Because you didn't keep this energy for my club. No, what do you mean? Let me finish.
No, listen now. I agreed with you. I agreed with you.
Man United 1.66 XG. 4 big chances. 0 big chances for Everton.
Let me finish what I'm saying now. Let me finish what I'm saying, Husam. And I'll go to the stats.
So I'm using stats.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Let me finish and I'll go to the stats.
I can't remember my big chances either.
Here's what I said. Here's what I said. For me, it was on the manager today where he could not even at this stage with 10 players, because now there's a difference. They're not playing 10 men. It's why I said for a manager who has an extra player on the pitch, you must be able to do something different. With your manager, it's 11-11 on the pitch. There's a big difference why I'm criticizing him that much. When there's 10 players on the pitch, you have an added advantage. You have extra legs. You have one person who can always be free. Why that one person is not dragging out the last fullback, I don't get it. Why Xerxes is not running in behind and just dragging. And if Xerxes can't do it, change a player and bring somebody in. Hence why I'm saying it's on the manager today. Because for me, when it's 11v11, there's a big difference in how I'll criticize it. But when it's 11v10, excuse me, you don't have and they scored with 10 men. Yeah. So my point again, so for me, that is where if they had scored with 11 men and then went down to 10 men and defended their goal ladder, said, Everton also defended very well. But again, it is
you spot on. I didn't even get, what? Because I've spoken about the manager so much, you don't even need to get onto him. But yes, it's not a surprise.
I'm addressing this individual game. And I'm looking at it from
maybe people will hear it better from you because you're an Arsenal fan rather than me being a Manchester
individual
United
game
fan.
for me was just a game of, after 13 minutes, I was like, oh, United's going to win this game. And I expected them to win convincingly again. That was the thing. I was like, Everton is down to 10 men. Everton is David Moyes. Everton is going to try and defend. They're going to go into their usual, let's just block. And I was like, United has what it takes to break this team down and put in 2 goals. And when Everton scored the first goal, I literally said it. I was like, this is the end. Everton is winning this game because David Moyes will pack all those 10 men behind the ball.
and we rely on individual brilliance rather than so when the individuals
for me, that's why I blame it on him for this particular game. Overall, the last 5 games where you have gone unbeaten, I think was a good thing for the confidence of the players and momentum. Did he do anything with that momentum in this game, which he was also offered another chance by Everton saying, hey, one man will slap the other guy and get out and make it 10 players? This is where a manager just says, you know what, tick, tick. All right, let's see what happens. 10 people? I need one guy free to just keep dragging that fullback out.
Like I said, they weren't the results, it was the performance, and our performances ain't up to scratch. It's a sustainability thing. I always look at results is great. I said it. The last 5 before this, fantastic return in terms of points. What are the performances? Is it sustainable? People did the same shit with Spurs. People will point to Spurs as a way record and go, oh, they beat Everton 3-0. I watched that game. They weren't good. Or they beat Leeds away. They weren't good. But again, too many people just see the scoreline and just make their analysis based off the scoreline and the extended highlights, especially Manchester United games as a Manchester United fan. I'm watching in detail. I know this isn't sustainable. This is why I've been saying, look at the game today and look at our 2 previous performances. There is very little difference apart from the scoreline. If Xerxes and Ahmad score late, there's a whole different conversation. If they score late and we win this game 2-1, people are talking completely different and not talking about how bad it is. But because we lost, everybody's now talking about how bad it is.
Listen, flawless. I'm even more leaning towards and you're right. Everything you said is right because I see what you've been saying. My thing was when I was just like, even if it's not sustainable, but you're giving the opportunity like this with a 10-man for almost 18 minutes, you had 11 players.
Yeah.
Like now you're giving an opportunity. Yeah, okay, something is not sustainable, right? But then you go into that fight and the player has dislocated his left shoulder.
Yeah.
And you're going to box this guy. And you're not targeting that left shoulder.
Nope. because we don't. We are not because we make terrible decisions.
That for me is why I now agree that your manager is this here is today was the reason that I was like, you know what, I see what Flawless has been saying. I'd always try to give you like, oh, okay, but you can see that you guys are winning momentum. This because I feel like that's if my club is going through stuff like that. When we started winning games, I enjoyed it. I didn't care about the performance then. I was just like, get the momentum up and then start working on the performance. You can either do it, but you can do it either way. You can work on the performance and then get momentum. But if momentum comes your way, this was a momentum game for you guys. 10-man Everton was a momentum game. You just needed a sixth win. Then go back and work on. You're buying yourself more time. Go work on your tactics a little bit more. You're playing one game.
And also, this was supposed to be the start of the favorable run. That's what I was told, man, after the international break. These are now the we've gone through the top 5. This is the favorable fixtures now. This is what people, why are you not confident? Why can't we finish top 5? That's why. We're roundabouts where I expect us to be. I said 9th. We're currently 10th. Yeah. We're mediocre. Scored 19 goals, conceded 19 goals. Definition of just substandard. We are bang average in regards to overall in the performance, and we're just a poor outfit. But an even worse manager. One of the worst managers in the league, comfortably. And you've seen it today. Can't manage against 10-man Everton. There was no plan whatsoever. Zero. There was no change whatsoever in regards to, we're now going to do this. We still played the same way as if they had 11. All right, man. But people still
at least it was on his slot. You're bringing Chiesa, and Chiesa is like a super sub, you know. At least, Amorim didn't even do nothing. And then you finally bring in Menu. And I'm like, why didn't Menu start? Why did you start the kid?
Never mind the defensive. Why are you playing 6 defensive players at home to Everton?
Yeah.
6.
And even and then when they went one man down, you didn't even think, you know what, it's time for me to just put more attacking players in there.
6 defenders. You had more defenders out there than Everton. David Moyes at Old Trafford. You had 5 defenders on the pitch. They had 4. All right, man. Okay. But people still going back.
So yeah, I finally agreed today, man. I mean, it was just a 10-man thing, and I was waiting for the in-game management. I was just waiting to see something that would be done. I was like, okay, if you have like Everton was not even defending as deep, you know, it wasn't like they stayed in there, like they went, and Everton was still pressing you guys. And I was like, hold on, what's going on here? Like this guy can't even, dude, sub 2 players, man. Take out defensive players and put in, just crush these guys. But nope. I was like, all right.
People, we have the cheat.
Was right.
The Gunner Edge is in the description. What's his name? Kerpilos G is in the description. And who else was here? Vader Games was in the description. Go give them all a subscribe, please. We are going to redirect you to Fraud in the pink hoodie. That's who's going to get redirected to. You get me, Mr. Lean Forward, to listen. Fraud.
Yes. That means someone's put themselves on Front Street making a big statement. So I'll lean forward. Like, all right, I need to hear this.
Forward, like it's a good steak, you know. Like
it means someone's gonna say someone's making a big statement right now. So it's like, all right, it's all eyes on
you guys.
By Everton fans, man. We need to put the fries in the bag. Anyway, I'm back tomorrow, inshallah, for Red Pill, Blue Pill, 2 p.m. UK time. Love every single one of you. See you guys over on Sarcasm City TV. We're gonna redirect you guys over there. And peace out, babies.
Blessings.
Everybody, I'm in.